How long has it been since I've mentioned how much I really love African cuisine? And welcome back to Cliffieland. This is Week in Country number 171 on our second attempt of cooking the food of every single country in the world. And tonight we're up to the nation of Tanzania. Tanzania, located on the Indian Ocean in Eastern Africa, is a rather large country. It is one of the most populous countries south of the equator, and it is bordered by a whole mess of countries. And its cuisine obviously varies from region to region, but generally speaking, in Tanganyika, which is that part of the country which is on the mainland, you're going to find dishes that really hew to things from the rest of the continent of Africa, where you're going to have things like a mushed cornmeal here called ugali. You're going to find grilled meats a lot, like you'll find in Kenya and Uganda and a whole lot of other places around southern Africa. A lot of dishes involving spinach and 17 different kinds of bananas. Now, also you're going to find dishes from Zanzibar, which is the island part of the nation, which is in the Indian Ocean, that has its own history, which is very heavily influenced from the Arab traditions, with a lot of flavors that come from the Indian Ocean. So you're going to have a lot of very spicy dishes, a lot more things involving coconut, and of course there's peanuts found everywhere. So that made things a little bit tricky cooking for a country with such a disparate cuisine, and we had to deal with this all last time. So let's see how things went when we tried things then. Well, 4 years ago on the Global Cooking Challenge, I got to cook and stream across 3 nights, plus I did one extra dish for a party. Remember those things? And we don't have a whole lot of time to get through it, so I'll try to do as quickly as possible. On the first night, we did a delicious prawn dish using shrimp in this case. It was really great. Don't have time to do that one this time. Also from the mainland, we cooked ugali that same night, which was really great, and we are getting to do that one this time. And on the second night, we did a really great beef dish, which was really wonderful, and unfortunately not time for that one. Neither will we be able to do that little extra dish, which was a banana-based dessert. I don't normally do desserts here, which was really great. It was a lot like Bananas Foster, and it was really great when it was really hot, and not so great when it was, room temperature, in case you do feel like digging that one up, because it was really very tasty. But what we are doing is what we did on the third night, which is a pair of dishes, one of which being an octopus curry, which was made with star anise, which was really great, and we served that with a spinach curry, which had some peanut butter and coconut in it, which was also great. So looking forward to doing that one. We need to see what go into tonight's dishes. First, for our lime coconut octopus with star anise, we'll need 1 medium-sized octopus, 8 cloves, 4 cardamom pods, half of a teaspoon of whole peppercorns, 1 stick of cinnamon, 2 star anise, 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, a small amount of canola or sunflower oil, 1 red onion evenly chopped, 3 cloves of garlic crushed, a 3-centimeter piece of ginger finely chopped, 125 grams of cherry tomatoes cut into quarters, salt and pepper, 200 milliliters of coconut milk, 150 milliliters of water, 2 limes juiced, and a small handful of fresh cilantro leaves to garnish. And then for our Tanzanian spinach and peanut curry, we'll need 2 pounds of spinach, washed and roughly chopped, 1.5 ounces of unsweetened peanut butter, 1 tomato peeled and chopped, 1 onion chopped, 2 teaspoons of curry powder, 1 cup of coconut milk, 3 tablespoons of ghee or 3 tablespoons of butter, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And finally, for our ugali or Tanzanian cornmeal mush, we'll need 1 cup of white cornmeal, or in the case of this particular recipe, semolina flour, divided into half-cup portions, a half a cup of cold water, and 1.5 cups of boiling water. No time, no time. This is all going to be so good. We need to get cooking. If using a whole octopus, have it cleaned and gutted. Bring a large pot of salted water to a boil, add the octopus, reduce the heat to a low boil, and cook for 30 minutes. Meanwhile, into a spice grinder, place the cardamom seeds from their pods, cloves, the whole peppercorns, and grind that to a fine powder. Then into a dry frying pan over medium heat, place the ground powder, turmeric, cinnamon stick, and the star anise. Toast for 2 minutes or until the spices become fragrant, and set it aside. When the octopus is ready, remove the octopus and drain the cooking water. Allow the octopus to cool and refrigerate for 30 minutes. In a deep saucepan, heat 2 tablespoons of oil over medium heat. Add the onions and cook until translucent, about 5 to 7 minutes. Add the chopped ginger and the crushed garlic and cook for 3 minutes, stirring to ensure that the garlic does not stick. Remove it from the heat. Then, in a large griddle or pan, brush the griddle or pan with oil and heat until very hot. And using tongs, char grill the octopus until it begins to turn golden on all sides and is showing some griddle marks. Remove from the heat and cut into bite-sized pieces. Then to the pot add the toasted spices and the char-grilled octopus pieces. Add the quartered cherry tomatoes, season with salt and pepper to taste, and stir everything together. Then add the coconut milk and water and bring it to a boil. Then, once boiling, reduce it to a simmer and cook for 40 minutes or until it has thickened to a curry consistency. Just prior to serving, stir in the lime juice and do a quick seasoning test. Add more salt, pepper, or lime juice if you'd like, and fish out the cinnamon stick and star anise. Into a bowl or jar, place the peanut butter and the coconut milk. Cover and shake well until blended. Set aside. Then, in a large pot over medium heat, heat the butter or ghee and add the onion, tomato, salt, and curry powder. Sauté for 5 minutes or until the onion becomes soft. Add the spinach and continue cooking for about 15 to 20 minutes until the spinach is cooked. Pour the peanut butter and coconut milk mixture into the pot. Stir gently to mix, and simmer for 5 minutes more, stirring to ensure the mixture does not stick. In a saucepan, combine the half cup of semolina flour with a half a cup of cold water. Cook over medium heat using a whisk to mix often. While whisking, add 1.5 cups of boiling water. Continue whisking until the mixture starts to boil. Lower the heat and let the mixture boil for an additional 5 minutes. Increase the heat to medium and add the remaining flour, about 2 tablespoons at a time, mixing well with a whisk. When the mixture acquires a heavy consistency, use a wooden spoon and continue cooking and stirring for 5 more minutes or until cooked. Plate servings of the ugali, plate servings of the spinach alongside, plate servings of the octopus, and dress the octopus with cilantro leaves. Wipe plates and serve hot. How'd that all turn out? Well, let me tell you, it was phenomenal. It was great. It was spectacular. It was just all those words, because it was really one of the best things I've done, bar none. Let's go from the bottom to the top, starting with that ugali. The ugali was really nice. It was a basic starch. Using that semolina flour gave a little bit of extra quality to the dish, but it was basic without being too plain, and it did a nice job of soaking up all the liquids from the octopus as well as from the spinach. So that one gets 4 to 5 globes. The texture really wasn't all right, but that was like, execution problem on my part. And the spinach was also really, really good. I can't really count how many spinach and peanut butter preparations we've had across all of the nations of Africa we've cooked, but this one really stood out because the addition of the spices and the coconut milk really gave it some interesting flavors that I hadn't had before. So that one gets 5 out of 5 globes. I really enjoyed it with the ugali, and I really enjoyed it even more as leftovers. But now we need to talk about that octopus, because that was truly one of the very best dishes I've done from the entire planet. It was that good. The flavors were so spot on. Those spices were terrific. The char on the octopus gave it just the right amount of texture. That star anise gave it a certain aroma, which was really fantastic. The lime juice gave it the bit of acid that it needed, and the cilantro took it right over the top. The texture on the curry even was just right. That was just so good. It has to get 5 out of 5 globes. I'd give it 6 if I could. It was so good that when I had leftovers the next day, I went to bed dreaming about it. It was that good. So make it for yourself. You'll be really glad you did. So that does it for the stint right here in Africa. Next week we head back to Southeast Asia to have the legendary food of the nation of Thailand. See you then. And remember, if you'd like to be advised when these videos are posted, please be sure to follow us on Periscope. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Like and subscribe if you'd like to be advised when these videos are posted, and be sure to hit that bell to get those notifications. Remember, links to the original recipes can be found in the About section. If you have any thoughtful feelings or helpful suggestions about the food we're eating, please be sure to sound off in the comments. Thanks for watching, and happy eating!